And the kids' claim was, we learnt in the class, in Balvihar class. We learnt in our class that you have to start your day with a clean body and clean mind. That was a moment wherein I had to pat myself. Good job, beta. You're reaching across somewhere, even one person, you can see the change. Shuchi, external purity is also required, but what is important is that we don't just stop there. So today there was, in one of the Devi groups, not today, I think it was yesterday, one of our Devi groups, we had this question. Why do we need to meditate? Why do we need to do these spiritual processes? Because in our hectic day-to-day life, it becomes another thing added in, that we have to spend 15-20 minutes for that. We don't have time. Why is it that necessary? My question was, do you brush your teeth? Why is brushing teeth that important? To keep myself clean and hygiene. I said, thank you. If not for you, at least for our sake. Otherwise, it would not be bearable. Can you imagine? So you clean your, brush your teeth, you clean your body. Do you take shower? Yes. Before eating food and after eating food, do you wash your hands? Yes. Why are all these important? As much as it is required and important for us to maintain that cleanliness within, it is equally important to maintain that cleanliness, without. It has to be maintained within as well. To maintain that cleanliness in our body, mind and intellect. Constantly the cleaning has to be done. How constantly? As constantly or as regularly as we eat. Rather, as regularly as we breathe. That regularly it has to be cleaned. It has to be maintained that way. Why Paramatma is the very expression of Shuchihi. Therefore, the English saying is, cleanliness is next to godliness. Not just the outside cleanliness, even the inside cleanliness. Shuchihi. Urjitaha. There may not be a connection, but I see a connection. So when you're tired, especially on a long day, and your day is not yet done, you still have another 4 or 5 hours of hectic schedule waiting for you in the evening or late night. At least this works for me. Let's stand and take a shower. And that shower immediately rejuvenates you. At a physical level, you clean yourself and it rejuvenates you. Urjitaha. Internally, when you clean yourself, imagine how much more of urja. Urja meaning inspired existence. Urjitaha. The one who has the infinite strength and vitality. Urja means that strength. You feel rejuvenated and revitalized. Paramatma is that urja, is that vitality in each one of us. There are certain anomalies. I remember somebody in my friends that they take a shower, they feel sleepy. It is an anomaly that you take a shower and you immediately feel sleepy. So my advice to them was, don't take a hot shower, take a cold shower and you will feel that rejuvenated sense of being immediately. I'm not joking. 5 days of Kailas Yatra at the beginning, you go up. Having gone there, by the second day, you would realize how many bones, how many muscles, how many tissues exist in your body. Because each one of them would be sorely aching. Because there is no road. At least there was no road. They are trying to build it. And it is constantly jumping off of the boulders and climbing the steep hills and getting down. And you are like constantly in a, the centrifugal machine or a pulverizer, wherein you are constantly pulped. And after 5 such hard days, because after the third day, at least the first 3 days, you will not even be, you will be so tired that you will not get sleep. Does it make sense? Sometimes you cross that threshold and sleeping becomes an issue. It's only after the 4th day that you have now accustomed yourself to that pain, that even sitting in a vehicle, you fall asleep. And with all this hardship, you reach to the shores of Mansarovar. The Mansarovar water is not at all cold. It is biting cold. You can understand cold water, but biting cold is like, it hurts you like needles. And that is only in the first 30 seconds. You bear that 30 seconds and enter in. Go all the way up to here and take a dip inside. You come back, and this is what I have observed. 3 times I have gone with almost 80 people once. All of them come out saying, I am ready for another 5 days of hardship. All the hardships done, forgotten. Urjitaha. My point is, externally we feel that cleanliness and we feel rejuvenated. Internally you clean, how much more rejuvenated we feel. Not just internally clean, but internally connected with that source. And we have seen these Mahatmas work like that. Tirelessly they keep working. And I have at least seen one of them, so I can vouch for him. That whenever I visit anywhere in India or anywhere else, when I come across somebody and I say I am from Chinmaya Mission, he has gone to places like Honduras. I was going through LA in the Cathay Pacific, and there was this 5-6 group of them. They were going to Singapore, and they were in that flight, and they were inquiring, are you a monk? So I said, yes, I am, and the institution is called Chinmaya Mission. Is it named after the same person, Chinmayananda? I said, how do you know him? Way back then, he has touched millions and millions of hearts. He has travelled incessantly for about 45 years until his vehicle stopped. And even at that moment, in the last 10 years at least, in the last 5 years, that his heart was not functioning, his various limbs were not functioning, but he would get onto the stage and roar like a lion. So many times, many of us had asked him, where do you find that strength? A little headache and we want to sleep. Right? A little dental ache and we want to take a break. Little common cold and we want to take a break. And he had like no limb of his was working in a original condition. He had twice bypass, twice or thrice, twice bypass, and his below his knee he could not feel anything. His heart was functioning only 18%. He had diabetes, and you can start listing things one after the other. He used to literally take a handful of colorful little pieces, tablets, and he used to joke, my stomach seems to be more intelligent than me. I throw them in, I dump these into my stomach, and they know how to segregate. They have the amazing discriminative capacity. And he has crossed into what? While he was still there, we had about 22 countries, Chinmaya Mission established. We had about 300 Chinmaya Mission centers. And it reached far and wide. I think he is the only Hindu monk or a Hindu to having stepped into Saudi Arabia for a lecture on Hinduism. The king of Saudi Arabia invited him. I think he is the only one. Are you kidding? You are all on record. See, he has touched, he has even gone to China. It is just after the Indo-Chinese war, he even visited China, he addressed in the Chinese. So he has touched. One single person connected is so rejuvenated that can reach and do like a 1,000-man army put into one person. That is called Urjitaha. And Paramatma, once you connected, and this may appear like a myth or a fable story. I have known a Mahatma who has not had, he is still alive, who has not had food for almost about 48 years now. No solids, no liquids. And my mind is a skeptical mind. Though I am into the path of spirituality, I am myself a skeptic. So, I had met him, and he is quite impressive personality too. So I said, I would like to spend some time with you. So I said, can I spend some time with you? He said, no problem. And I said, it will not be like a day or two, I would like to spend at least a month or two. Said, please come. And I used to shadow him, like, the morning he would, he'd be up there, he wouldn't even sleep, he would be just sitting in the sofa there. So I used to follow him around 4 o'clock, the whole day starts by 10:30, 11 at night, continuously one after the other, work is being done. After 2 months when I was taking leave, it is that time he looks into my eyes. Are you now satisfied that I am not surviving on food and water? So that was one of my main motives to shadow him. Very meekly said, yeah, not that you require my approval, but yeah, I did want to stay there to find that. Since we have started in this topic anyway, where do you get energy even after eating so much, downloading into the bottomless pit so much, we still don't find that energy. Where do you find your energy? And you still accomplish so much more than what we are accomplishing. So he said, your plug is connected to a small little tank, to your stomach. My plug is directly connected to him, that I don't require any of this. I said, the day I realized that that connection is possible, I realized that I don't need to waste time on eating, cooking and cleaning. I mean, in his ashram, he feeds people. It is not that he entrusts the same principle on everybody. I can do it, not everybody can do it, so he feeds everybody. He in fact feeds about 500-600 kids, and they have a school running there, and he teaches them, or he employed people to teach them, and he feeds them food. Doesn't go out for fundraisers, funds come in to him. And he says all this because of the direct connection to that main urja, that is constantly is vitalized. Urjitaha. Upendro vamana pramshuhu ramogha shuchirurjitaha. Atindra sangraha sargo dhritatma niyamo yamaha. Atindraha. Atindraha. Beyond Indra. We have already seen Upendra, and it is a similar meaning with a different usage. Atindraha, the one who is beyond even Indra, the one who controls Indra and the other gods. That consciousness which controls the mind, intellect and the rest of the organs, that consciousness is called Atindra. Sangraha. Sangraha, the one which maintains cohesively everything in a comprehensive state. Sangraha. Sometimes to create something is very easy. After having created, to maintain it and contain it is a difficult job. Like on a political platform, if you look at the invention or the discovery of the nuclear potentiality. Of course, we should give credit to those scientists who have found it. Finding it was not a big deal. Now there is such a chaos to contain it and maintain it. Now one cranky fellow somewhere there, presses one button, all that it takes. The entire world can be in chaos. And this statement I am making because I just heard the North Korean and the US deployment and South Korea wanting to empower itself with nuclear weapon, Japan wanting to empower itself with nuclear weapon. It's like a nuclear race happening there. One madcap. To create is easy, to maintain and sustain it is difficult. That too comprehensively and keeping it cohesively. Having created this beautiful universe, to maintain it in this cohesive manner, can you imagine what kind of a management guru he must have been, or he is? The one who maintains everything cohesively, comprehensively together. That the sun rises in the east at that precise time. So much so that we can predict it years ahead of time. If you look at the Panchanga, the Hindu almanac, it is predicted about even 100 years ahead of time. And it happens with that precision. Imagine yourself to be the sun. Just imagine. Indulge me in that imagination. Move along. By the second week into doing our job as sun, we would have said, here figuratively and literally meaning, I am already feeling burnt up. Boy, this is a boring job. I have to continuously keep giving light and don't I get a break? And we start complaining after the first month. It's a thankless job. Nobody even acknowledges what I do. Nobody says a thanks. Nobody greets. Supposing you make a very good meal, you cook a very good meal for the entire family, or there are guests or somebody. The family or the guests, they come, but they don't even eat anything that you have made. Oh, we're sorry, we just had something, so we're not feeling hungry. And you put in so much of effort in making it. How do you feel at that moment? Give me a word for that moment. Angry, frustrated, disgusting, right? Now imagine the son thanklessly doing his job. Every sunrise is a unique landscape, isn't it? He's bringing his best to dazzle the world. And how much of the world is even ready for that dazzling? How many of us even look at that sunrise? Do we? And still, without feeling frustrated, without feeling disgusted, without feeling angry, does his job. Entire nature and its natural forces function flawlessly. Engineered, designed by him, and he keeps everything in balance. And what an amazing system that he has created.